gun handling part 2, and it's a very specific thing I'm going to have my lovely assistant John demonstrate, which is the idea that when someone who is competent with guns is handed a gun that is unfamiliar to them or even familiar to them, they're going to do something. They're going to either check it to see whether it is there's a round in the chamber, or the magazine is in, how many whatevers, or to clear it, meaning take out the magazine, unload the gun, prove that it's safe. Now this is something that people that are really competent with guns are religious about, because almost every gun accident happens because someone assumes the gun is unloaded. You can go on YouTube, you can look at videos of people assuming their gun is unloaded and shooting themselves in the knee or something like that. So I'm gonna be handing it to John, and John's gonna kind of run through the process. First, he's gonna run through a system of, okay, we're gonna go with the bad guys, we're about ready to shoot, here's your weapon of choice. Okay, so he's gonna check and see how loaded it is. He pulls out the magazine and he checked to see how many rounds. Go ahead and pull it out again. On the back of this magazine, or the side, this case only has 1 bullet, I didn't realize, but it would go down, there'd be an opening spot, you'd be able to see roughly how many they are. Okay, so he puts it back in. Now he's going to check to see if one's in the chamber. This has a safety. Okay, so he pulls back, he can see the gun in the chamber, he lets it forward. Okay, this particular gun does have a safety. Now we're going to move into a then he's going to unload it. So now I say, here's your gun, it was passed down from dear mom, and he wants to unload the gun. So he drops the magazine, takes it out, pulls it back, okay, ejects the single bullet. In this case, he's demonstrating that it is now unloaded. He locks in the back position. You wouldn't necessarily store a gun that way, but it's useful for a demonstration like this. John did, in fact, turn the gun toward the camera, which is something I don't do.
I'm not a camera person. So.
I know, but I was going to say that in this particular case, if he were sitting with us, he wouldn't have done that, but it's a camera. So it's not actually a real person. So we take the bullet, we'll put it over here. Now is a very popular gun, the Glock. So it's a little bit different. Glocks do not have a safety. The safety is your finger, your trigger finger, and between your 2 ears. So same thing, I hand him, I go, that's it, we're gonna fight off those zombies. And he says, okay, let me see what I got. Wait. On the back, these have holes. You can see, they're actually numbered. You can see how many bullets are in there based on where they're visible. So he's pulled it out, he's gonna put it back in. Same thing, he pulls a little bit back and around the chamber. Now if I say, here's your Glock, happy birthday, honey, takes it out, ejects the bullet, once again locks back the slide, okay? Now I'm at the point where I'm giving you just enough information to where you could probably cause yourself some trouble if you're writing. And you talk about pulling back the slide on a revolver or removing the cylinder on a Glock, and we get all this mixed up. I'm going to give you a hint, which is if you go to YouTube, I personally don't like putting in my manuscripts or in anything the particular make and model of a gun, because I may think of it as the most reliable gun. Someone else reading it might think that it's a cheap knockoff or overpriced. So I tend to be a little bit vague. But if you in your mind have an idea that I'm going to do, a particular kind of gun, and you go to YouTube and you look up reviews, a lot of reviews, they will clear the gun at the beginning of the review to show that it's empty. And so you can see that particular gun, you can see how they clear it, and you can confirm, does it have a slide, does it have a cylinder, any of these kind of things. Okay, revolver, like Glocks, do not have safety. Okay, now the difference is, sorry honey, it has a cylinder. Okay, can you see the cylinder? The only way to check that a cylinder, do you want to open that up? Okay. I'm going to swing it this way. You can see the back. Now, if I get it real close, I can check to see whether or not these bullets have been fired. There'll be a little indent where a pin hits it, it's ejected. You couldn't do this in a dark environment, on a boat, in a firefight. So if you're unsure as to whether or not you have bullets or not, there's 2 ways to check. One is to flip the gun, look down the barrel, and see if there are still slugs in the bullets, which you would do never. Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, would you flip the gun up so the barrel is pointing towards your face and look down. Okay, the other way is that you would physically, why don't you go ahead and unload it. You would physically push all the bullets out, and you would either have shell casings or you would have bullets. In this case, what I mean is you have the casings and you still have the slug. Okay. Okay? So there you go. If you wanted to prove that this was always undone, you could leave the cylinder out like that. People could easily see. Okay, what's next? Want the AR? Okay. Here you go. We want it in a raffle. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm running out of great examples. So first I want you to check to see, we're going to fight off a horde of tigers. So check and see if you're ready. Pulls out the magazine, checks. Now, this is an AR, which means it is almost impossible to check to see if a bullet is, why don't I stand back here? You're gonna hit me again? So he's gonna check and see, oh, yeah, it had a bullet in it. Doesn't anymore. That's just the nature of ARs. So he wants to check if one's in the chamber. It basically consists of shooting it out. Now if I wanted you to unload it, same thing. Once again, there we go. Okay, so now our AR is unloaded. Our AR, I should say, or rifle. And last is our shotgun. This is a pump. So same deal. I don't know, here's a gun. So he pulls back slightly on the pump just a little bit. We can see that there's a shotgun casing in there. What? Oh, first you turn off the safety. No, what? Can you just talk?
This is the, so it's already been shut.
Oh, okay. The release button. Okay, sorry, he didn't want to talk on camera. Okay, so you have one in the chamber, and then the other thing you do, that's where you load it. You can check by pushing forward, you can tell if there's no additional space in there in the chamber, another shotgun shell. Now if I say, I don't know, we're gonna travel, unload it. There you go. Oh my. And now it's unloaded. So that should give you kind of a general overview, but kind of, you can leave now, honey. I know you're eager to get off camera. A general overview. The idea is, if you want to sprinkle a little bit of authenticity, if you have a scene where guns are being passed out, if we're talking about, once again, competent gun people who handle them well, you would be doing a lot of stuff. They would be checking, they would be dropping magazines, they might be loading other magazines. There's a lot of activity beyond grabbing a gun and shooting. Now, of course, this is where also you use your own discretion, which is if a tiger's racing down a thing, you mean you hand me a gun, I'm going to start shooting. Sure, it might not work because there's no gun, I haven't, loaded something in the chamber or whatever, but there you go.